record there at 0-3. That was the one thing that in talking with Coach Jankovic prior to the start of the game tonight, that he said makes them a very dangerous team tonight, he believes. He knows Evansville does not want to drop a home game and go 0-4. So he believes that Coach Simmons is going to have this team jacked up, hyped up, and do everything and anything they can to prevent another home loss and drop to 0-4 this early in the conference season.
Yeah, he just thought it was the absolute worst time to be playing the Purple Aces, because as he referred, he called them a wounded animal,
right.
And a wounded animal at home sometimes can really claw at you.
That's right.
The officials working tonight's game here in Evansville: Mark Whitehead, Kip Kissinger, and Hal Lusk. The Redbirds come out in their road red jerseys with their white trim. The Aces of Evansville in the home whites with purple trim. Again, coached by Marty Simmons, who's in his third season at his alma mater. 32 wins, 42 losses. He graduated from Evansville in 1987. A 9-year overall head coach. He was at Southern Illinois Edwardsville before coming here to Evansville. 130 wins and 115 losses overall. Jumping center for the Redbirds will be Dima Odiakosa. Jumping center for Evansville will be Clint Hope. The 40th meeting between these two teams is now underway. The opening tap is controlled by the Redbirds, and we're glad you're alongside here on Comcast. The Redbirds have won the last 6 meetings with Evansville and lead the overall series 26-13. Rubin gets a screen from Odiakosa.
Evansville showing their man-to-man defenses they traditionally like to play.
Holmes is hounding Eldridge. Here's Rubin's first shot of the night. A three, rims out.
In and out. Good penetration by Osiris Eldridge. Found the open man that time. Didn't quite get her to go down.
You mentioned that Rubin making his 13th consecutive start. He does the things that don't necessarily show up on the score sheet. You know, a lot of defensive things and deflections and things like that. That's how he's worked his way into this starting five for the Redbirds.
Well, that's exactly right. He does all those intangibles that coaches like to talk about being important.
Ned Cox hits the jumper. We mentioned that he's one of the freshmen in the starting five. He's averaging 6.5 points per game, and he's in the scorebook right away. He's considered the best leaper on the Aces. He cleared 6'8" as a high jumper in high school, so he's got some hops. Rubin goes inside now to Carmichael. He's one of the freshmen for the Redbird. He scores off the glass and in, so one freshman scores for Evansville, and a Frosch counters for the Redbirds.
Good patience that time by the Redbirds on offense. Got the ball to move, went side to side, made the defense have to shift a few times, and found Carmichael wide open down low, and he's going for the old-fashioned three-pointer right now.
Ever since Jackie Carmichael got his way into this Redbird starting lineup 7 games ago, he's really turned it up. He's averaging just under 10 points and 6 rebounds a game as a starter in his last 7 games. He has not played like a freshman here the last couple of weeks.
Well, that's a fact. He hasn't played like a freshman, and that's good to see. I mean, it's because he's raised his level of his game, and he has done a lot of positives that make this team a better squad.
Cox being guarded by Phillips, lost it, got it back. Tried to snap a pass down to Hope, who's falling, and he's fouled. We'll see who the foul is against. Likely Odiakosa. That's the case, so the first on Dima.
Well, the shot clock was running down, and unfortunate foul there. I believe it was entanglement of the legs more than anything else. Looks like Dima might have got a little help there. Got a little shove in the middle of his back, as the replay showed.
Just one senior on this Evansville roster, and he is a walk-on, so it's a guy like Clint Hope, who's a junior that they're counting on for leadership. Kevon Lacey, who is coming off knee surgery, who will likely see tonight. He's not played since he had surgery on December the 15th. He's a junior. Peter Van Tongeren, who's a European player, is a junior. So this team really is a very young roster.
Well, and Marty Simmons is an outstanding coach, too. You give him some time, and he's going to get this thing going over here at Evansville. He does a great job.
Eldridge shoots it in. Oh, right over the top of Denver Holmes. The first points for the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week. Osiris won the game with a basket with just a couple of seconds to play in this meeting last year. Now a block. Redbirds come back. Carmichael gets the lob from Lloyd Phillips and finishes.
What a great feed that was by Lloyd Phillips. It starts by creating offense from defense. Jackie Carmichael steps in the middle of the lane, shows help, blocks the ball, but blocks it in an area where Lloyd Phillips can control it. and then finishes it off with the dunk on the other end.
And a second steal by the Birds. This time it's Alex Rubin, and Phillips again to Carmichael for the finish. So a couple of defensive steals turning the dunks on consecutive plays for Jackie Carmichael.
Lloyd and him are having fun, I do believe, out there right now. Steal, dunk.
Carmichael with 7 of the Redbirds' first 9 points. So what a start again for the freshman from Manhattan, Kansas. He's fun to watch. There's Hope, got a nice feed that time from Colt Ryan.
Right there is what you're going to see all night long out of the Evansville offense. They run off of down screens. The wing players are popping out. It's the quote-unquote old-school motion where you're going to get a lot of action on the wings, cutting to the middle to get the ball. If you cheat and help, that leaves the middle man wide open.
Here's Osiris forcing a shot up and drawing contact. He's going to get rewarded with a couple of free throws.
Well, we've seen a lot more of that this year, I think, out of the Redbird offense, where we see our guards penetrating into the middle of the lane and trying to get an angle where they can draw a foul if they can't get a shot.
The Redbirds doing a nice job, again, turning defense into offense. And at this point, it's Eldridge to the free throw line. But, you know, when you can deflect those passes, you can get in the passing lanes and just make it difficult for this cutting offense, as you've mentioned, very methodical for Evansville. You can start turning the tables on them.
Well, that's right. The one thing that you have to consistently do is when they're running their four-man motion away from the ball, you have to keep pressure on the ball, so that pass is never easy to the man that might be coming open. You have to. It's kind of like rushing the quarterback versus not rushing the quarterback. More pressure you get to him, the more difficult it is to make the pass.
And we're seeing Kevon Lacey bring the ball up the floor. He got a nice round of applause for checking in. He had arthroscopic knee surgery on his left knee back on the 15th of December. He's missed the last 4 weeks, but now we got a foul on Dima. That's going to be his second away from play, so we'll likely see him leave the game. He is leaving the game in favor of Tony Lewis. Just to complete my thought on Lacey, he's the guy that's really being counted on for leadership for this team as a 3-year player, 3-year starter, really. Again, this team is so young that it needs somebody like him, and he's missed the last month with that knee surgery. Here's Hope inside. Did a nice move, but he couldn't finish the play. Carmichael goes back and gets the rebound for the Redbirds.
Second foul on Dima Odiakosa. Let's hope it doesn't create problems for the Birds. Losing an experienced post player like that is tough.
Lloyd Phillips' first shot of the night off the front of the rim is no good.
Lloyd got bumped on that one. They got away with a foul on that. As he went up, he got his hand grabbed.
Here's Lacey. Lloyd Phillips got his body into him, and so Lacey's going to get to the free throw line, it looks like, unless they whistle that on the floor. We'll see when we come back. Redbirds off to a good start. 11-5, they lead the Aces of Evansville. Back with more in a minute. You're watching Illinois State basketball here on Comcast.
The presents have been opened and you finally got that new TV or computer you've been dreaming about. Well, every new TV requires a new TV console, and every new computer deserves a new desk. During Whitaker's Office and Entertainment Sale, you'll find a huge selection of desks that can turn your workspace into an office and TV consoles that will transform your family room into an entertainment area. Visit our showroom in Hudson and experience the quality of solid wood. Whitaker's, handcrafted, built to last, the way furniture should be made.
When your doctor recommends GI, Dr. Motter, Dr. Kusro, and Dr. Reddy provide you with state-of-the-art advances in GI technology. Now available, capsule endoscopy. In capsule endoscopy, a patient swallows a camera pill with its own power and light source. It takes tens of thousands of photos as it travels through the body. These pictures help us determine the cause of many gastric and other problems without invasive procedure. State-of-the-art from Dr. Kusro, Dr. Motter, and Dr. Reddy at the Gastrointestinal Institute.
Most of my clients come to me because they trust me and they know me. Here at First Midwest, we work with people planning for retirement, college planning, fixed income products, life insurance products, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. In these financial times, you're finding out with the markets down the way they are, people's risk levels change. They maybe don't want to be as risky as they were. So right now, they need to see a financial consultant to evaluate their risk level. Contact me, Sean Craig, at First Midwest Securities for your financial planning needs in Bloomington Normal.
Well, we mentioned the defense turning into offense, and here's a look back then. Block shot by Jackie Carmichael, runs the floor, rewarded from Lloyd Phillips with the lob, and then on the next trip down, it's Alex Rubin who gets his hand in on the steal, and it's a similar play where the Redbirds finish with an odd man break here.
Great job of rewarding your post player, Jackie Carmichael, for sprinting down the floor and getting him involved in the offense.
Ryan's first shot of the night is short. Back from the Redbirds now with the basketball and a 6-point lead, 11-5. We're just underway here at Roberts Stadium. Here's Carmichael. He's had the hot hand early. He's scoring on the inside and now on the outside.
Feed the beast while he's hungry. If he's hot, let's go to him. I love it.
Jackie Carmichael already in double figures. Is that right? Check that. He's got 9, I guess. The long rebound tipped out. The Redbirds come away with it again. They've got an 8-point lead and the basketball. A 9-point opening sequence here. 4.5 minutes into the game. 9 points already for Carmichael. Here's Lewis from the outside. That won't go. Rebound to Lacey.
Might have been a little quick that time for Tony to throw the shot up from that distance. They'll always be able to get a shot from 15, 18 feet out of their offense. They need to make sure they can try to look inside a little bit first.
Reball is missed by Denver Holmes, and back from the Redbirds quickly. Eldridge turned it over. He was thinking about passing the ball, and then he stopped, and he was guilty of the travel, or the carry, whatever you want to call it.
Well, Osiris thought that Rubin was going to continue his path onto the basket, but he flared out to the wing, and that changed what was open and what wasn't, and it's just one of those quirks that happened.
Near steal that time by Eldridge. He did come away with it. Now the held ball. It's the possession arrows favoring the Aces. We're going to see Kellen Thornton in the game for the first time. He gives Jackie Carmichael a little breather. What an opening sequence for Carmichael the first 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, not a bad start for a youngster. Hadn't missed a shot yet. 4-4. 1 of 1 from the foul line.
9 points and 2 boards in the first 5 minutes for Carmichael. Peter Van Tongeren is coming to the game now for Evansville. He's the player from the Netherlands.
The Birds, I've been impressed here in this first 5 minutes of the game with the defense. A lot of pressure on the ball, fighting through screens in a physical manner, giving them an advantage from the defense into their offense.
Eldridge, fadeaway 3 from right in front of the Evansville bench.
Matter of fact, I thought he was on the bench.
7 points now for Eldridge, his first 3-point make of the night.
Osiris looks to be in good rhythm.
Here's Ryan down the lane, flipped it up. Nicely done. He cut across the paint, caught it and flipped it up and off the glass and in.
Gets a screen away from the action, cuts into the middle, gets movement going to the basket when he gets the ball.
First points of the night for the top scoring freshman in the Missouri Valley. Lewis that time picked up his pivot foot, travel violation against the Birds.
He has a tendency to try to go a little faster than what he needs to when he gets the ball. Tony Lewis I'm referring to. And there, when making a ball fake to set up his next move, his feet take little bitty tiny steps with him, but they still count as a travel.
Lewis Jones now in the game for the first time for Evansville. This is Van Tongeren.
But look at how tough that is to get through all of that.
He sets a screen after handing the ball off to Ryan, who missed the 3. Back come the Birds now. It's Phillips. Rubin. He's going to fire a 3. That's no good. Loose ball is going to be an over the back on Kellen Thornton.
Wide open look on that transitional 3 there by Alex Rubin. We see the attempt right there. Kept alive by Tony Lewis and over the back by Kellen Thornton. Good call by the officials, right on top of things.
Jones working on Lewis, hangs, fires, couldn't get it. That's probably going to be over the back on Van Tongeren, it looks like this time.
Yep. You know, out of that last transition, we had Alex Rubin take a 3. Early in the year, he didn't seem to be comfortable with his shot, and the last 8 games, he has shot 46% from the 3-point line, so I think he's kind of getting comfortable with things. And I think since he has settled into knowing that he's going to be a starter, he's comfortable with his role.
Lewis, now Thornton, works baseline, had a shot blocked. Ball's on the floor, now it's going to be a held ball. This time it favors the Redbirds.
Active hands by the Aces. They got a hand on the ball, blocked a shot, knocked it away. But Thornton stayed with it. He went down on the floor. We'll see him coming in here. He goes baseline, gets a step on the first man. Stays with it. Gains the Birds another possession, which they're in the middle of right now.
Austin Hill in the game now. He's the one that gets the assist on that play. He gets it down to Lewis, who hits the fadeaway in the paint.
Good job of Austin taking that dribble to create spacing between himself and Tony Lewis, and then made that nice little over-the-shoulder pass to him.
First points of the night for Lewis. He's the transfer from Ellsworth Junior College. He's out of Chicago. Ball's out of bounds off the Redbirds. Good hands that time by the Redbird defense. Wholesale changes coming now for Evansville. 4 fresh bodies come in. Osiris Eldridge will re-enter the game for the Redbirds. James Harsma back in the game. We mentioned he's the one that missed all of the Northern Iowa game and half of the Creighton game with a lingering foot injury. The Aces have just been slowed by injury. Brian Bushy is not playing tonight. He's a 6'10 sophomore. He had pneumonia last month. He's got the flu this month, so he's out of commission.
I hope he's back in his dorm room, because I don't want the bug that he's got, obviously.
Hope misses the short jumper. Yeah, they ought to just quarantine him and keep him away from the team. They're thin enough as it is. Thornton thought about the 3, stepped inside, lost the dribble, looking for help. His pass was tipped. Ruben gets it.
Good ball movement right here by the Birds. Doing a nice job using the whole floor, making the defense work.
And Kellen Thornton knocks down a 3.
Great job. Love to watch that kind of offensive flow. Good spacing. Defense could not cover the entire half court the Birds made him on that possession.
Boy, Marty Simmons calls timeout. The Redbirds shooting it at 62% right now. What an opening half for Illinois State. Redbirds coming off that very emotional victory over Southern Illinois, and you think this is a perfect opportunity for them to slow down, but they don't. The Redbirds have put the gas down, and they are in front. We'll step aside, 21-7. Good start for the Redbirds. Back with more from Roberts Stadium in just a moment.
I'm John Koch, store manager of the Luca Grill.
And I'm Tony Smith, co-manager of the Luca Grill.
We will be interrupting the program you're watching
Or ball game.
to discuss
Or debate.
frequently asked questions about the Luca Grill.
These opinions are our own and may or may not be true.
and should never, ever be taken seriously.
Our current topic is listed to the right of your screen.
So please, try to keep up.
If our researchers are on their game,
The ticker at the bottom of the screen will list current information.
but don't hold us to it.
We live in unstable times where it's hard to escape talk of bad economic news.
My number one priority is to work with you to help take away the worry about such things as what can I do to prevent my retirement accounts from going down in value, and what can I do to help make certain that I never run out of money. There are options available today that can help you alleviate these worries.
Kegel Financial Services, over 30 years of experience tailoring each consultation specifically to your needs.
While we were away, the Aces hit a 3. They've got the basketball back now, so it's a 21-10 Illinois State lead. And now a second 3.
2-point. Had his toe on the line.
You're right. Denver Holmes, boy, he was parked out there right at the 3-point line, but his foot was on the line, so a 2-pointer. So 5 straight now for the Aces after Marty Simmons called timeout.
The Aces have done a good job of finding the open man on the perimeter for their shots, and they've been knocking them down.
Austin Hill to miss. Cox back in the front court now. We're seeing Monet Hudson for the first time. That's him with a basketball. He's a junior from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Boy, on the low block, Hartman had the ball stripped out of his hands. Good defense from Lewis. He came up smiling because he knew he had a clean block there.
If there's contact involved, Tony Lewis is going to be smiling. He relishes those moments. He's the young man that had 2 stitches during the previous game against Southern Illinois and came back and played the entire second half with stitches in his lip.
It's going to be a foul now against Clint Hope. Not a very popular call here, obviously, at Roberts Stadium. They were hoping for an offensive foul, but didn't get it. Now we've got an official's timeout on the floor. The Redbirds lead the Aces of Evansville 21-12 at the 9:57 mark. Back with more in a minute. This is Illinois State basketball live on Comcast.
I'm John Koch, store manager of the Luca Grill.
And I'm Tony Smith, co-manager of the Luca Grill.
We will be interrupting the program you're watching
Or ball game.
to discuss
Or debate.
frequently asked questions about the Luca Grill.
These opinions are our own and may or may not be true.
and should never, ever be taken seriously.
Our current topic is listed to the right of your screen.
So please, try to keep up.
If our researchers are on their game,
The ticker at the bottom of the screen will list current information.
but don't hold us to it.
in unstable times where it's hard to escape talk of bad economic news.
My number one priority is to work with you to help take away the worry about such things as, what can I do to prevent my retirement accounts from going down in value? And what can I do to help make certain that I never run out of money? There are options available today that can help you alleviate these worries.
Kegel Financial Services, over 30 years of experience tailoring each consultation specifically to your needs.
The year end is here, and that means you'll save even more on all remaining 09 cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock at Lynn Chevrolet Buick in Pontiac. Large inventory? Check. Bigger savings than ever? Check. Unmatched service after the sale? Check. Come see why Lynn Chevrolet Buick in Pontiac puts smiles on faces and keeps money in your pocket. Our year-end clearance sale starts now.
See Lynn Chevrolet Buick today, I-55 and Route 116 at exit 197 in Pontiac, where service makes friends.
Good start for the Redbirds, a 21-12 lead. What are the keys to tonight's game, Bob?
Well, as I see them going into it, the Redbirds need to be able to defend the screen. Out of the motion offense, the Purple Aces like to run. There's going to be a lot of screens set on the wings. They're going to be very physical. They're going to hit you hard, and they're going to hit you repeatedly. Second thing is they have to be prepared for a physical battle because they're second in the league in rebounding, team rebound-wise also, so you got to be ready for it. And then the Redbirds need to get balanced scoring, inside, outside, offensive attack.
And right now the Birds are certainly balanced. Jackie Carmichael back in the game, and now he's in double figures. He has 11. Osiris Eldridge has 7 points. So the Redbirds spacing it around. And they also have, Lewis is in the scorebook as well. Thornton's in the scorebook as well. So the Redbirds are doing a nice job in these first 10 minutes of this basketball game. Here's Hope from the outside.
That's a little bit out of his comfort zone. Redbirds are running down a lot of long, loose rebounds tonight. Playing with a lot of energy early in the game. I like the intensity and the energy level the Birds brought to the gym tonight.
Here's Austin Hill down the wing, kick out. Thornton's going to try again from the outside, and he knocked that one down, so he's got a 3 from each corner.
Coaches have been working lately, I know, with Kellen Thornton, that when he sees somebody penetrate, as Austin Hill right then, get himself ready to shoot. Get in a shooter's position, they'll find you, and then pull the trigger.
Kellen Thornton did not have a three-point make all of last season, Bob. He's got 9 so far this year and 2 here in the first half against the Aces. Austin Hill draws contact. It's going to be before the shot went in. So the Redbirds, as we mentioned, you mentioned that one of the keys is balanced scoring. And when you have a double-figure scorer already in Jackie Carmichael, and you've got Eldridge with 7, you got a couple of three-pointers for Thornton, and you've got Austin Hill playing so aggressively, the Redbirds are really moving around.
Well, and I know that's what this coaching staff wants to see happen on a regular basis, is that the scoring becomes so balanced that the defense can't cheat and take away just one aspect of the game.
The Redbirds enjoying their largest lead of the game at 14. It's 26-12.
Challenges come in many ways as a coach. Now you have to try to make sure that your team can continue the intensity.
Hill banks it in off the glass.
Well, if the Aces are gonna let the Redbirds get a penetrating dribble that deep into the lane on each possession, then it's gonna be a long night for the Aces. The Birds can take advantage of that.
And the Redbirds still shooting at over 60% now. It's 61% from the field. They're 11 of their first 18. And that's a neat trick on the road. Here's Ryan. He can't get it to go. Tipped out, he got it back. Tried to slip the ball underneath of Van Tongeren. He couldn't finish. Long rebound comes to Eldridge. Redbirds have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Phillips to Thornton. Third consecutive time that those two have hooked up on an alley-oop here in the opening half, and Marty Simmons again calls timeout.
That's my favorite because Lloyd gave a look away like he was going to throw it to Osiris and then laid it up top on the rim, and Jackie knew how to flush it.
Lloyd Phillips again playing with a lot of confidence, coming off that tremendous effort against the Salukis. And how about Jackie Carmichael's stat line? Let's take another look at that last play. Off the long rebound, the Redbirds in transition, a no-look lob. Carmichael now with 13 points and 2 rebounds in the first 12 minutes of this basketball game.
That's 6'9", 240 pounds running the floor like that, folks. That's incredible. I love seeing, and it's a freshman, understanding that if he, with his athleticism, can run the floor like that, he'll get rewarded. We'll see it here again. Here he is off the right wing, 32 going up, boom. 34 on defense, didn't stand a chance. He went right over top of him.
Carmichael had hit his last 9 field goal attempts coming into tonight's game, Bob. He's 6 for 6 from the field, so he's made 15 consecutive shots from the floor. There's a nice move by James Harzma.
A little up and under, use his left hand. Very fundamentally sound move right there.
Redbirds with a terrific start, 30 points already. First 12 minutes of this basketball game.
Like I said, now the challenge becomes, can you continue this intensity?
Eldridge shot rolls in. It's one of those nights when everything seems to be going in for the Redbirds.
Shooter's touch right there. Something I wouldn't have a clue what it is, Kurt. Shooter's touch.
9 points for Osiris Eldridge. Ball slapped out of bounds by the Redbird D. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Terrific start for the Birds. They're off to a 32-14 advantage with 7 minutes to go in this opening half. Back with more from Roberts Stadium in a minute. This is ISU basketball live on Comcast.
For Redbird basketball. Pack the arena against Evansville on Saturday, January 23rd at 4. Text PACK to 71857 for your free ticket. Or visit GoRedbirds.com.
We can fix anything. Kurt's Auto Body in Bloomington.
Whether you're hosting a party or sitting down to enjoy the game, don't forget the beer nuts. Peanuts, cashews, or almonds are available in different tastes, sure to please everyone. We offer a large selection of unique gift packs and specialty items for every occasion and price range. Shop in person, by phone, by fax, or by mail. You can even shop on our website at beernuts.com. Shop in either of our 2 locations, the corner of Washington and Robinson Streets in Bloomington, or at the Sale Barn on Route 51 South.
The current Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week is Osiris Eldridge. He has 9 points here in the opening half. This one touches a couple of spots on the rim and the backboard before it goes in.
Redbirds have done a great job of moving the ball tonight and getting everybody involved and getting everybody some touches. They've got 10 assists already at the 7-minute mark in the first half. Out of 13 field goals, 10 assists. That's great ball movement.
Justin Clark is in the game for Illinois State, the freshman from Missouri. He's in the game for the first time. Ball is out of bounds, a turnover for the Aces. That is their 3rd tonight.
The other thing that's been impressive for the Redbirds is they've got 14 rebounds. 14 rebounds. 13 of those have been defensive, which means you're giving Evansville a one-and-done look almost every time.
Thornton already has a couple of threes here in the opening half. Phillips is going to crank up a 3. That won't go. Ryan, the defensive rebound for the Aces. Here's Kevon Lacey, his first game in a month after undergoing a scope on his left knee right before Christmas.
That's incredible to me nowadays how quickly young athletes can come back from things. Those used to be season ending. You know, back in the day, those used to be season ending, but now, boom, month, they scope them. There's not any, really true surgery. It's a scope they put in there instead of a knife cutting anything open, and they're back after some hard rehab.
Had a nice conversation with Farmington's Ben Wiersba, who's an assistant on Marty Simmons' staff. We probably know that Tom and Cindy Wiersba back in Farmington are watching. And he was saying that in his first practice back, he was diving after loose balls and colliding into the scorer's table. This is a guy, like you said, who just had knee surgery. Ball is on the floor. Ryan digs it out, flips it under the Harzma. He flips it up, can't get it. Thornton fighting for it. And it's Justin Clark that comes away with the Aces, just cannot buy a bucket.
They can't buy a bucket, but I tell you what, a lot of that has to do with the Redbirds' intensity on defense. Now, the Redbirds got to be careful they don't fall in love with the three-pointer. We're cranking them up a little early in the shot clock for my liking right now.
Here's Van Tongeren. He's stripped from behind, but there's some contact and a foul. It's going to go against the Redbirds, I believe, Thornton. That's the case. That's his second, and Peter Van Tongeren, V-A-N-T-O-N-G-E-R-E-N, to the free throw line.
We see Carmichael on the defense. He defended him perfect, and then Jackie's doing everything that you should, and then Kellen walks by and throws a hand in there and fouls him. Needless foul. Breaks momentum, stops the clock, and puts them at the line to shoot when nobody guards him.
Van Tongeren was born in Amsterdam. He's from the Netherlands. He's a graphic design major. In fact, some of his work has been used by the athletics department here at Evansville on their posters promoting the different sports around campus. Very talented, scholar athlete, big fellow, European-style player, likes to play on the perimeter. He splits the foul shots. It's a 32-15 game. Now, Tim Jankovic certainly has to be pleased with what he's seen so far in the first 15 minutes, but you're right, the Redbirds can't lull themselves into just settling for a bunch of, three-point shots early in the shot clock. I think that's an excellent point there, Bob. Here's Justin Clark.
Justin was a terrific, and I do mean terrific, outside shooter in high school. He just, for whatever the reason, cannot find the range since he's come on campus at Illinois State.
There's a block by Carmichael. Tony Lewis in the front court. He leaves for Phillips. He's going to try a three. That's in.
Nobody picks you up. You might as well pull the trigger. Lloyd Phillips does. Knocks her down. Great job by Tony Lewis that time of getting the ball to a guard. Sometimes he gets a little happy with these dribbles.
The Redbirds are 4 of 11 from three-point range here in the opening half. Harzma the offensive rebound, and he's going to get to the free throw line.
Jackie Carmichael swatted him as he went back up for the putback. Draws his first foul. Here we'll see the attempt. Ball comes out long. Jackie did swat him. No doubt about it.
Harzma is second in the Missouri Valley Conference in rebounding. We're seeing the top 2 rebounders in the league here tonight. The first, of course, is the Redbirds' Dima Odiakosa, who hasn't played much because he's got 2 fouls. He's sitting on the bench.
He went out at the 16:42 mark.
Well, Dima's averaging 8.4 rebounds per game. Harzma 8.2 rebounds per game.
That's the good news and bad news scenario. Good news is he's going to have fresh legs for the entire second half. Bad news is the Aces have to try to figure out how to stop him when he comes back fresh.
Alex Rubin from the corner. That three won't go. Redbirds now with 12 three-point attempts here in the opening half.
They're not bashful putting that baby up from out there tonight. Oh, great defense. Once again, something that won't come on the stat sheet.
Phillips leaves it again for Carmichael, and the foul against Evansville. We talked about Alex Rubin at the top of the broadcast being an integral part of this team, not necessarily because of his scoring prowess, because he's not asked to score. It's little things like that, like clogging up a passing lane there and starting a turnover and starting the fast break.
Exactly. It's the hustle plays, all those intangibles that Alex loves to get involved in. Taking charge. He leads the team in charges taken. He's had 5 on the season, and probably another 10 that he's attempted that did just what we saw in that last defensive sequence where he attempted to take a charge. Didn't get the charge, but created a loose ball, which led to the situation on the other end offensively.
Had a big steal in the final minutes on Sunday night against SIU. And so he's just kind of one of those gutty guys. When you've got Osiris Eldridge on the floor and Jackie Carmichael having one of these nights, you're not going to have to score a whole lot of points, but you got to do some of the other things, and that's what Alex Rubin is doing.
Recognize your role and then play it as hard as you can, and that's what he does.
Jackie Carmichael, 6 out of 6 from the field, 3 out of 3 from the foul line tonight. A perfect first half. He's got 15 points, and the Aces have 16 as a team.
This is one of the best defensive efforts I've seen by the Redbirds. I mean, they just are relentless.
Boy, a terrific move there by Hope. He did a perfect spin, textbook, but just could not finish. And it's been a frustrating night for the Aces and a terrific night for the Redbirds. Timeout on the floor, 3:59 to go in the opening half. Illinois State 37, Evansville 16. Back with more from Southern Indiana in a minute. This is Redbird Basketball live on Comcast.
Van Gundy Insurance has been a resource for insurance services in Central Illinois since 1946. When it's time to review your business insurance coverage, consult with agent Dave McGrew to receive optimum value for your premium. As your business expands, Dave will work with you to expand your coverage. If you have out-of-state locations, need directors and officers coverage, or employment practices liability coverage, take advantage of Dave McGrew's experience. Visit our website at vangundy.com or stop by our office in Normal. Insure with confidence at Van Gundy Agency.
At Clay Dooley, we are not just your home for the highest quality, most affordable tires. We pride ourselves in bringing you the finest auto servicing in the area. With our state-of-the-art diagnostic tools and equipment, we can service all makes and models, foreign and domestic.
I come to Clay Dooley because I like the friendly atmosphere. I know the people, I've known them for years, and I've always had high-quality service.
At Clay Dooley Tire and Auto, drive with confidence.
Now is the time to visit Uptown Normal. Come see the exciting new changes, new businesses, a whole new look. Stop by your old favorites and discover new ones too. Uptown Normal, changing the definition.
Redbirds 4 of 12 from three-point land here tonight. Here's the most recent effort. It's Lloyd Phillips.
Out of transition. Lloyd was the trailer on the ball side. Stepped right into his shot. Good kickback pass from Tony Lewis.
Boy, the knock on Lloyd Phillips coming into the Valley season was that he was really struggling from three-point land, but the Salukis found out Sunday night that he's more than willing to get on a little roll from three-point land and shoot, and he's got one here tonight.
Oh my, Jackie just got another block that was at least 12 feet in the air. Good job by Alex Rubin in keeping that ball alive.
Carmichael's first miss of the night. He got it back. Can't get it to go. Lewis offensive rebound and the bucket off the glass.
Back and forth like they're playing volleyball with it between Carmichael and Lewis. Great effort to keep the ball alive by Carmichael. Good finish by Lewis. You got your two bigs running the floor to get to get offensive rebound position like that. They'll get rewarded.
Offensive rebound from Hope, and he's going to be fouled. He's really worked hard, I think, in the post here tonight.
He has. He's really making it difficult in there. He's hitting the boards hard, and he's going to the basket hard once he does get the ball. We'll see, he's got inside position. Tony Lewis got beat out on that. Tony's never going to give him an easy look. Make him go to the foul line and earn him.
He's another Indiana boy. He played his high school basketball at Forest Park High School in Ferdinand, Indiana. Lewis Jones leaves the game. Colt Ryan is back in the game for the Aces. And as much as we talked about Colt Ryan at the beginning of the night, he's just 1 out of 7 from the field. The Redbirds have certainly made an effort to make this a very difficult night for him from the floor.
Well, and those are going to be the learning steps that a freshman has to take, is that sometimes they don't understand how difficult it is once you get into the league play, that every night is somebody's going to be in your face once you're a marked man as the other team's leading scorer.
3 minutes to go here in the opening half. At the half, we'll have a conversation with Assistant Athletics Director for Media Relations, Todd Kober, talk about some of the upcoming promotions and events going on around Illinois State University's athletics department. We've got a whistle away from the basketball. It's going to go against the Purple Aces, and Ryan is going to be whistled for the foul.
Well, Ryan's down low in an attempt to guard Tony Lewis that time, and that's a mismatch that he can't handle. The only thing he could do was foul him and try to prevent Tony from getting position on the low block where he could score easily.
So Tony Lewis to the free throw line, a 4-point first half for Lewis. Missed the foul shot. It's going to be a foul on Austin Hill, it looked like, going for the rebound. And we'll walk down and shoot some free throws on the other end. We're seeing Terry Johnson check into the game for the first time for the Redbirds as Tim Jankovic is telling Lloyd Phillips to think about some of those passes and some of those plays.
Lloyd Phillips was the one going to the bench as Terry Johnson comes in for him. He was signaling to use your head to Austin Hill. Don't make a foul on a missed free throw. We went from a situation where we had an attempt to get two points, didn't make the first of a 1-and-1, and fouled them, and now they walk down and get a chance to make 2. With the clock stopped and all of that action. That's not what you want to have happen very often.
Blake Mishler comes into the game for the first time for the Redbirds. Osiris Eldridge re-enters the game. Lewis and Carmichael go out. So the Birds have Terry Johnson, Osiris Eldridge, Alex Rubin, Austin Hill, and Blake Mishler in the game right now as Colt Ryan has the second of his 2 free throws. And that's no good. Ball is loose and controlled by the Birds. Van Tongeren, Lacey, Ryan, Ned Cox, Denver Holmes are the 5 on the floor right now for the Aces. 2.5 minutes to go here in this opening half, which has been a very good one for Illinois State.
Good job by the ISU staff at getting using the depth of their bench when they've had a lot of games in a short amount of time.
Mishler, offensive rebound. He missed the first time, and then he fouled on the rebound.
Well, when Blake Mishler's on the floor, there's going to be some banging going on. I guarantee you that. And sometimes it goes in a positive way, sometimes not so. But he's never going to give up on anything.
Blake played his high school basketball at Metamora. He was initially signed by East Tennessee State, played there, and then transferred to be closer to home, playing for the Redbirds.
You know, finish up a little bit on what I was saying about using the bench. The Birds have had 5 games in 9 days, I believe we were counting, and this is their 5th game in 9 days. And if you don't have a bench, it really takes a toll. Your players start losing their legs and the shot goes awry and you're not as quick on defense and things of that nature. So knowing that they have that many and knowing that in 2 days they've got another contest coming up Saturday evening with Northern Iowa, using the bench while they have a spread like this early in a game is really smart by the staff.
Everybody in the Missouri Valley Conference right now playing a stretch in which they're playing 5 games in 12 nights. So you're right, we're really seeing here in early January who has a bench, who can survive this stretch. There's Thornton inside on a nice entry pass from Eldridge. The ball is on the floor. It's going to be held ball, and the possession arrow favors the Aces.
Good job of the help side defense man coming over, getting a hand on the ball and creating the loose ball that time by the Aces.
Play's getting a little ragged here towards the end of the half. Again, Dima Odiakosa picked up 2 very quick fouls and has been on the Redbird bench. And so I think if you'd have told Tim Jankovic that your starting center is going to play about 3.5 minutes of the first half and you're going to be sitting on a 19-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the half, he'd probably say, ooh, I'll take that.
I think that's a pretty safe statement.
The Redbirds need to finish strong here in these last 2 minutes, though, and not give a portion of that up. Lacey is fouled that time by Terry Johnson. Again, Lacey in his first game back from having arthroscopic knee surgery. He's the junior from Alton. He was a star quarterback for his high school team and obviously a very good basketball player as well, and being counted upon to be a leader in this very young roster, which includes just 1 senior, a walk-on for the Aces, and a lot of underclassmen. One of them is leaving the game right now. Colt Ryan, the freshman, he leaves in favor of Monet Hudson. He's one of the handful of juniors on this roster.
Well, the last 2 trips down the floor, the Purple Aces have got their points that they've wanted, but they've come from the free throw line. The Redbirds are not making them run offense.
Terry Johnson's going to get to the free throw line. A little pump fake there. He drew contact. The foul's going to go against Ned Cox. He's a fellow freshman.
Great high screen right there. His old UCLA cut. Hit the wing, use the post as a screener, brush screen off of him, and if he's wide open as he makes that cut, you get it to him. Get your guards down low where they sometimes aren't expected to be, and it catches the defense off guard. John Wooden made that famous, and ever since they used to use that, it's been known as the UCLA cut.
Gee, do you think there were coaches across the country that said if it works for Coach Wooden, I might incorporate that into my playbook?
You know, I think he proved he knew a little bit something about this game of basketball.
Terry's the freshman from Chicago North Lawndale, brought his team to the state Final Four a year ago in high school basketball, and now in his first year of college basketball in the Missouri Valley for the Redbirds. He splits those 2 free throws. We're under 2 minutes to go here in this opening half. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris, our Comcast Sports crew here at Roberts Stadium in Evansville, where it's been all Redbirds in this opening half. They have an 18-point lead at 40-22.
Boy, the Birds are really still doing a very good job on defense.
Here's Ryan for 3, no good. Harzma offensive rebound. He can't finish, though. He had a good look at the basket. couldn't get it to go. Now back in the front court, it's Rubin. With Lloyd Phillips on the bench, Johnson's running the show now. That's him with the basketball. Goes right around the defender on Kevon Lacey. Couldn't finish, though, off the glass. Now it's Evansville back in transition, threw it away.
Bird's got a break there. Evansville had a man back. It was just a little bit too low. It was a line drive bullet rather than leading him with a little loft on it. Nice turn and go to the bucket that time by Terry Johnson. He just kind of got off balance and couldn't get her to go in for him.
Now Tim Jankovic is now going to burn a 30-second timeout. I'm not sure that he was too pleased kind of with what has happened here in the last minute and a half of this half. But his team has, and it's just human nature. You build up a 20-point lead. You mentioned it earlier, Bob. I thought it was a good point. You don't want to build up a 20-point lead and then settle for a bunch of threes, get into this routine where you're just coming down the floor and in the first 5 seconds of the shot clock, hiking up a three. And for a little while there, it looked like the Redbirds were kind of slipping into that mode, and then they went back to attacking the basket.
Well, also, in that same vein, at this point in time, we've got Carmichael on the bench and Odiakosa, the muscle men for the Birds, are on the bench. And we've got more of a finesse squad out there right now. So there's going to be more driving action, cutting action, things of that nature. We got a little bit smaller group out there. The only real post player, inside presence we have right now is Kellen Thornton, and he's 6'7", so it's not like having 6'9" Carmichael or 6'8" Odiakosa on there. But it's matching up and giving us the opportunity to take advantage of the size or lack of that Evansville has.
There's Austin Hill, backs in. Fade from the baseline is in.
Wow.
Boy, when you hit a tough shot like that, you know it's your night.
The degree of difficulty on that shot was way high. It might have been off scale. I didn't think that ball had a chance going in.
Holmes for three. That's in.
Yeah. The Redbirds were a step late getting through the screen on that. And that's all Holmes needed. Birds are going to hold for the last shot, it appears here, with 20 seconds remaining on the clock.
The Aces have 2 made three-pointers here in the opening half, and Denver Holmes, the sophomore from Kansas, has both of them. Redbirds will play for 1.
Looks as if they're going to bring Osiris out, let him get the ball and go to a 1-4 low set. So basically they're letting him create. They're going to counter with the double team.
It's Thornton at the horn, and he couldn't get it to go. So the Redbirds got the ball down to the final second of the half. They got a shot from the baseline left, but it wouldn't go in. Nonetheless, a very good first 20 minutes for Illinois State, which heads to the locker room in front 42-25. A 17-point lead on the road is a rare occasion in the Missouri Valley Conference.
It is very unusual, but I'll go back to say, yeah, the Birds shot the ball well, but they got a lot of opportunities presented to them because of how hard they're playing defense. That was the key in the first half. They came out with a lot of energy and intensity on the defensive end.
Yeah, the Redbirds holding the Aces to 23% shooting in the opening half. It's a 42-25 Illinois State lead. Back with a conversation with Illinois State Athletics Assistant Athletics Director Todd Coburn in a minute. You're watching Redbird basketball here live on Comcast.
It's 2 a.m. You don't know it yet, but the network at your business is crashing. You'll arrive tomorrow morning to find zero communication and a complete digital standstill that will last for days. Want to avoid such a nightmare? With BTS Data Recovery Services, you can. Sleep well. Call STL to get business technology solutions. Learn more at stlbts.com.
Oh, this is not a water slide. It's a mind eraser. Somewhere amongst its twists and turns, your endorphins are released, wiping away all your worries. It's like a shower of happiness in your brain. All you know is that somebody's screaming like a little schoolgirl. And that little schoolgirl is you. So buckle up, Buttercup.
Call or stop by Susie Davis Travel American Express to find out more about our ultimate 2010 Carnival Cruise Line Family Spring Break Vacation.
The Redbirds take on Northern Iowa on Saturday, January 9th at 3. The game is live on ESPN2, and there's a special halftime show featuring Mr. Slinky. Call 438-8000 or visit GoRedbirds.com.
We are at the half here at Roberts Stadium in Evansville, where the Redbirds lead the Aces 42-25. Illinois State looking for its third win in the first 4 games of the Missouri Valley Conference season. And we're glad that you're alongside here on Comcast, the Birds with a 17-point halftime lead. Kurt Pegler along with Todd Kober. He is the ISU Assistant Athletics Director for Media Relations on campus, responsible for some of the great things that you've seen with the Redbird Ambassadors this year, an idea to bring back some of the players that were so popular in years past for the Redbirds, and they're coming back to be saluted, and they get a chance to come back on campus. And I know many of them have told you, hey, this is a neat thing. I'm coming back. I haven't been on campus in several years.
Sure, it's been really successful. We've been very pleased. I think the fans have enjoyed it, and yeah, we have had an outreach from former players that we've most of the games are already booked, and we've gotten contacts from former players who are like, hey, I'd like to come, and so hopefully this will be something that we can continue. I stole the idea from our good friend Jay Blunk, Illinois State alum with the Chicago Blackhawks, and I saw how the fans responded, and obviously Illinois State basketball's got such a great history. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to bring some former players back. Let them realize how much the fans appreciated the time that they put in when they wore the Redbird uniform, and then also give them an opportunity to see what these current Redbirds are doing. And as you can see, we have the ones that have been locked in for the upcoming games. This Saturday, former Redbird from Vandalia, Brian Kern, will be there, and on January 13th, 1 week from today, when we play the Evansville Aces in Redbird Arena, Greg Alexander will be there. And then, of course, January 20th, Jamar Smiley, Rob Gibbons, Lou Stavanovich, and then Steve Fitch. We have one more game I need to book, and then the Bracket Buster game. We're hoping to have a special event for that game, and more information will be coming on that later.
Nice mix there. You've got the 80s representative in Lou Stavanovich. You got the 90s in there with Jamar Smiley, Rob Gibbons. You've got this decade with Greg Alexander. So kind of, for the fans who are maybe not as familiar with the program from 25 years ago would know some of the newer names, and some of the fans that remember the Bob Donewald years and the Bob Bender years would know some of those other guys. So that's an interesting thing. Now, the interesting part about this week's game, Saturday's game against Northern Iowa, you're calling for a red out. You're encouraging all the fans to come to that game dressed in red, aren't you?
Exactly. Our marketing staff got together, and they're trying to promote this as a red out. It's an ESPN2 game, and hopefully the Redbird Arena will be red, and we will spread the red for that game, and we always ask our fans to be loud and wear red, and definitely that is the case for Saturday's game against Northern Iowa.
And you can see some of the places around town where you can purchase some of that red attire so you can wear it to games like the upcoming game against Northern Iowa, the defending league champion. The Redbirds have a score to settle, I think, against the Panthers after what happened last year in the Valley Tournament. Let's talk a little bit about the social media that you're using, Twitter, Facebook. We're in this electronic age, and the athletics department is reaching out as well.
Sure. During the first half, I've spent the whole first half blogging on our game day blog, so it's actually nice to be able to talk to somebody. My fingers are a little sore. I went back, and John Munn got me a little ice bag, and we're going to ice down my fingers and hopefully do that. But it's we do this program through Cover It Live. We've been blogging live for all of our games this year. It's a good way to get Redbird fans together, interact, and talk about the game. And then, of course, our Facebook page. We're trying to reach out, just another avenue to try to communicate what's going on campus to different people, and that's what our Twitter account does as well. And of course, none of these things are meant to replace the actual game day experience that you get by coming to Redbird Arena. But we know that with schedules and where people are located around the country and the world, that they can't always come back to Illinois State. And when they can't, we want to make sure that they get the same feeling and are keeping up with what's going on at Illinois State.
And a reminder again, the conference champion Northern Iowa Panthers and the team right now leading the conference coming to Normal on Saturday for the game against the Redbirds on the 9th. Tickets are still available for that game, and you can see the ticket hotline there. Certainly you are reaching out to the people. It's great that people are able to come to the game, but I know that you've even upgraded your video capabilities so that people can watch some of the games. Perhaps if they're second shift workers, they can't get to the game, they're from out of state, whatever. You're trying to make that available for them to even see the Redbirds, even if they're unable to get to Redbird Arena.
Sure. We just instituted a new page on a product that's called Vimeo. It's a kind of a YouTube type page, but what Vimeo allows you to do is it allows you to use larger video files. And what's been nice is that our fans can watch most of our games live through the internet through Redbird All Access, which is located on GoRedbirds.com. And then we also have been archiving these games on this Vimeo page. And if you go to Go Redbirds and click on multimedia and pull down to ISU on Vimeo, it'll take you right to that page. And like tonight's game, for example, usually they'll be downloaded on the Vimeo site within 4 hours. It takes a little while on that site because the files are so big, the games are so long, and but usually within 4 hours after a game's over, you can go online and watch the telecast.
Don't be a stranger. Come over and do these halftime interviews with us every now and again, if you would, all right?
We'll try.
All right, our next televised game, by the way, will be a week from tonight. It'll be the rematch when the Aces come to normal. But we've got another 20 minutes to go. Thanks to Todd Kober, who joins us. He is the Assistant Athletic Director in charge of media relations on campus. The Redbirds with the lead here at Roberts Stadium. Back with more from Southern Indiana in just a minute. You're watching the Redbirds live on Comcast.
Oh, this is not a water slide. It's a mind eraser. Somewhere amongst its twists and turns, your endorphins are released, wiping away all your worries. It's like a shower of happiness in your brain. All you know is that somebody's screaming like a little schoolgirl. And that little schoolgirl is you. So buckle up, Buttercup.
Call or stop by Susie Davis Travel American Express to find out more about our ultimate 2010 Carnival Cruise Line Family Spring Break Vacation.
Most of my clients come to me because they trust me and they know me. Here at First Midwest, we work with people planning for retirement, college planning, fixed income products, life insurance products, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. In these financial times, you're finding out with the markets down the way they are, people's risk levels change. They maybe don't want to be as risky as they were. So right now, they need to see a financial consultant to evaluate their risk level. Contact me, Sean Craig, at First Midwest Securities for your financial planning needs in Bloomington Normal.
Recognizing winners is our business at B&B Awards and Recognition. We're family owned and operated, featuring the highest quality awards and recognition items for businesses, schools, colleges, sports, and community organizations. Our certified recognition specialists use the latest equipment and techniques. Don't forget to check out our personalized gifts. When you need to show someone they're the best, give the best. B&B Awards and Recognition, located in Towanda Plaza.
17-point Redbird lead, 42-25. Welcome back to Roberts Stadium in Evansville, Indiana. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morse with you. First 20 minutes, a pretty good one for the Redbirds.
Well, I think in a lot of different aspects it was. We talked about right before we went on break about what good defense the Birds have played. I think that has given them a jump start on their offense, and they shot the ball well in the first half, shooting 48.5% from the floor. And I think the other thing they did a good job was distributing the ball. And we'll see here in a replay such as this, we get a steal, and then boom, we convert it right back with an assist pass for an easy dunk. The Birds had 11 assists out of 16 field goals and only 3 turnovers in that first half. And I think that's a tremendous credit to how well they're moving the ball and understand what the staff is wanting them to do.
And those two plays that you just saw happened on consecutive trips down the floor. The Redbirds coming away with a block shot for Jackie Carmichael. It finishes in a dunk. And then a steal by Alex Rubin finishing in a dunk. As we take a look at the first half numbers, the Redbirds holding the Aces to 23% shooting from the field, while the Redbirds on the road shooting at 48%. You'll take those numbers any day of the week. The Birds have 2 more three-point makes than do the Aces. They're both been to the free throw line roughly the same amount of time, at least as far as the free throw makes are concerned. The rebounds are about the same. Look at the turnover ratio there, huh?
Yeah, that's really good. You know, and the Birds, they show 0 turnovers there. I had
I think it's actually 3. The Redbirds actually with 3 turnovers instead of, but still, nonetheless, 3 turnovers in the first 20 minutes of action, and you score 42 points.
That's right. That's outstanding. And you're holding the other team to shooting 23%. If there was a negative to it, it was the total number of fouls that the Birds came up with. It was 11. You put them at the foul line 14 times. Of those 11 fouls, they were in scoring action so many times and or in the bonus. So you want to maybe be a little concerned about that and get your hands off, move your feet a little bit more, things of that nature. So, you know, I'm nitpicking when that's the only thing I'm going to come up with that's bad. So now the challenge, I'll go back and repeat what I said earlier. Can you maintain this type of intensity, this level of energy and intensity on the defensive end? We see here Tony Lewis getting the ball down low on a replay, passes out of the double team, finds a wide open Kellen Thornton who drains a three. That's what Tony Lewis's game is progressing into. Is he's understanding when to kick, just as Austin Hill is starting to understand a little bit more about when to kick and when to try to finish. Again, he found Kellen Thornton, I believe that was, down in that corner. So there's 2 of Kellen's three-pointers that time.
17-point Redbird lead at the half. Back with second half action from Roberts Stadium in a minute. 42-25, the Redbirds lead, and you're watching Illinois State basketball live on Comcast.
We live in unstable financial times where it's hard to escape talk of bad economic news all around us.
My number one priority is to work with you to help take away the worry about such things as what can I do to prevent my retirement accounts from going down in value, and what can I do to help make certain that I never run out of money. There are options available today that can help you alleviate these worries.
At Cagle Financial Services, we put over 30 years of experience at your disposal. You've earned the right to not live with financial stress. You've got us on your side.
Some of our competitors want you to believe there's no such thing as free padding.
But we have over 80 rolls of clearance carpet that comes with a free 8-pound pad on any size purchase.
Some actually want to charge you to measure your home just so they can give you a price.
But we give free estimates and recommendations for your home's floor.
They say flooring should be serious business.
We say it should be fun.
So before you make your final decision,
Come on into the outlet.
Are you ready for Redbird basketball? Pack the arena against Evansville on Saturday, January 23rd at 4. Text PACK to 71857 for your free ticket. Or visit GoRedbirds.com.
Illinois State with a 17-point lead here at Evansville. Let's revisit the keys to the game that Bob Morris said were going to be instrumental for the Redbirds to win this basketball game. The first thing you thought the Birds were going to have to do was defend the screen, and it looks like they did that very well here in the opening 20 minutes.
Well, when you hold the opponent to 23% shooting from the floor, then yeah, I think they've done a very good job. They have matched the physicality contest that the Aces bring to you. When they set hard screens, you got to fight through a hard screen and challenge the shooter. They did that. Prepare for a physical battle. Birds lead the war on the boards 23-22. That's kind of a wash. That's a good thing, I believe. You're handling the physical presence of some of the Purple Aces. Balanced scoring, 7 different Redbirds scored. They were led by Jackie Carmichael's 15 points, but 7 different Redbirds got in the scoring column in that first half. 11 different Redbirds got playing time in that half.
And the Redbirds send out their original starting 5 to open this second half. That would be Lloyd Phillips, Alex Rubin, Osiris Eldridge, Dima Odiakosa, and Jackie Carmichael. Dima only played a handful of minutes in this opening half because he picked up 2 quick fouls. So Odiakosa played 4 minutes in the opening half, and of course he's been scoreless. So those are the 5 that will start the second half for the Birds: Eldridge, Rubin, Phillips, Carmichael, and Odiakosa. And Evansville counters with their original 5 as well: Colt Ryan, Ned Cox, Denver Holmes, James Harzma, and Clint Hope. And the Redbirds have the first possession of this second half. We are underway here at Roberts Stadium. 42-25 is our score. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris, and our Comcast Sports crew with you here. And we're glad that we're being seen all over the state of Illinois, including in the Chicagoland area, in Rockford and Springfield tonight, and of course back home in Bloomington Normal. We've got a foul. A reach-in foul is going to go against Hope, it looks like.
Good job of patience that time on the first possession by the Redbirds. They obviously came out with a set play. They've reversed the ball 3 different times. And on the third time, as they made the entry pass down low by Osiris Eldridge, they got an over-the-back call on the Aces.
Hope has to leave the game now in favor of Peter Van Tongeren.
Hope gives him a much more of a scoring threat inside. He's much more aggressive once he gets around the offensive end of the hole.
Now that was his 3rd foul, so he'll take a seat next to Marty Simmons on the Aces bench. Here's Phillips' little crossover.
Oh.
And just a little miscommunication there with Rubin, who kind of zigged as opposed to a zag, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Exactly. That happens. That happens.
See what the Aces do in their first possession. Here's Harzma. He gives it up now to Lacey. Looks inside, skip pass over the top of the defense. This is Denver Holmes, and he scores.
Good hard two dribble to the top of the lane, knocks down a good little jump shot.
Holmes now with 10 points. It's his 6th consecutive game in which he has scored in double figures, so he has really stepped up his game. Now it's Odiakosa. He hands to Eldridge. Over a double team, Osiris Eldridge missed the shot. Harzma the rebound.
Birds 0 for 2 in their first 2 possessions of the half. They need to make sure that they get themselves established on the defensive end.
Ryan goes inside.
Good little head fake right there. Got Dima Odiakosa off balance. Draws his 3rd foul on the take. But he might have suffered a little injury. I don't know. Harzma looks, we'll see it here. I'm not certain where the contact came, but trust me, if you run into Dima, it's like, oh, they went knee to knee. Oh, goodness.
Well, Harzma is the guy that we've talked about who's missed some time because he's had a lingering foot injury. He's had tendonitis in a foot that kept him out of the game against Northern Iowa, and he missed the second half of the game against Creighton. So he has battled injuries here in the Valley season. And he is noticeably limping on the floor right now.
Yes, he is.
Lob goes into Van Tongeren, and it looks like Odiakosa just picked up his 4th foul. Boy, Dima has just not been able to get in the flow at all. Played 4 minutes in the first half, and now is going to be forced to take a spot on the Redbird bench here just a minute and a half into this second half.
Well, if you're going to have a night where Dima Odiakosa has one of these games where he can't do anything right, let it be a night where we got everybody else hitting on all cylinders so that they can cover up for him. Because there's many, many nights that Dima carries the load for everybody else.
Boy, the Evansville coaching staff was so impressed watching tape of Dima Odiakosa. They said they couldn't believe how much better he has gotten. How his game continues to improve from his sophomore to his junior year, and now from his junior year to his senior year. And so they were really worried about what he would contribute tonight, and he's got 4 fouls and no points, and he's on the Redbird bench.
Well, speaking of 4-0, the Aces have a 4-0 lead in the second half.
Here's Alex Rubin for 3. That's missed. Long rebound to Van Tongeren, and now the fans are kind of getting into this game as they see the Aces come back up the floor, trying to gain some confidence here. Ball is on the floor, stripped by the Redbirds. It was Rubin who got his hand in there, and now it's Carmichael who's going to be whistled for a foul.
Wow, that was very questionable call. I don't understand that. If you can step in to somebody while we'll see it on a replay. There we see the good strip by Alex Rubin. And right there's the first foul not called.
That was an elbow.
Okay, he did step through. All right, he did step through, but the rule is you got to give them a step in order to allow them to have possession.
Here's Van Tongeren, little floater, won't go. Tipped up and in by Harzma.
Starting the second half on a 6-0 run. Redbirds do not at this moment seem to have the same defensive and or offensive intensity they started the game with. That's a challenge. It's a tough thing to do, playing with a large lead at halftime.
And now a foul against the Aces. What was once a 17-point lead is now down to 11.
That seemed to be a little bit of a ticky foul also, ticky-tacky call. You're right there. When he left the floor, you can't. That's a rule. You can't have the hands when the guy's up in the air. Can't have your hands on him. You affect the balance of where they're at.
Lewis gives it up now to Eldridge, and there's a reach-in foul against the Aces.
Good attack dribble right there by Osiris Eldridge. When you're playing a team such as Evansville that plays a physical brand of defense, a physical brand of ball, the best thing you can do is attack that by, just as we saw right there by Osiris, attack that type of defense, and you're going to draw a lot of fouls.
The Aces are trying their best to make ISU really labor offensively and work hard to get open shots. Much more so here to start the second half than they did in the first. Here's Rubin, lost the dribble. Goes to Carmichael down the lane. It's going to be a blocking foul against Van Tongeren. So the Redbirds have gotten 3 fouls against the Aces on this offensive possession.
Once again, it was because we saw Jackie attack the basket off the dribble. Here comes the attack. Defender's not set, sliding over, draw the foul. This one happened to be in the act of shooting, so Jackie Carmichael goes to the line.
Clint Hope is going to come back into the game. Van Tongeren leaves. Seeing Austin Hill come in now in place of Alex Rubin. And Jackie Carmichael now has a new career high. He has 17 points tonight. And we still have 17 minutes to play.
Pair of good-looking free throws right there. Good form.
Lacey with the kick out. Holmes the miss. Ball is loose, and Eldridge comes away with it. Now in the front court, it's Osiris trying to get a screen from Carmichael. Now Hill at the top of the circle. Redbirds with the basketball and a 13-point lead. Their largest lead was 23 in the opening half. Hill thought about the three, steps inside, penetrates, had a shot blocked by Colt Ryan.
Trying to force the action there a little bit, but taking it to the basket. I don't mind that. Sometimes it happens your way, sometimes it doesn't.
Hope couldn't finish the shot. Now back in the front court, the Redbirds nearly turn it over. So
bad outlet pass by Tony Lewis that time. Excuse me, Kurt. Bad outlet pass. He was giving it to the backside of Austin Hill rather than giving him a chance to get turned around. Got to be careful with those.
Well, the first 16, 17 minutes of the game, the Redbirds were really clicking on all cylinders. Maybe that last 3 minutes of the first half, it wasn't quite there. And certainly here, the first 4 minutes of the second half, they appear to be back to kind of feeling things out a little bit.
Well, and let's give the Aces some credit because I think they've come out with a lot more intensity than they showed in the first half.
No question. There's Lloyd Phillips, a big three. So Phillips, who made 4 3-pointers on Sunday night against the Salukis, now has his second 3-point make here tonight. And the Redbird lead is back to 16 now. It was 17 at the half.
Good pass on that previous possession by the Redbirds by Osiris Eldridge to find a wide open Lloyd Phillips.
Here's Holmes with Eldridge on him. Good defense by Osiris. Now Colt Ryan down the lane. Foul, though, before he was able to penetrate. Foul's going to be against the Redbirds. And we have a timeout on the floor. We're just underway here in the second half. Redbirds 47, Aces 31. You're watching ISU basketball live on Comcast.
The presents have been opened and you finally got that new TV or computer you've been dreaming about. Well, every new TV requires a new TV console, and every new computer deserves a new desk. During Whitaker's Office and Entertainment Sale, you'll find a huge selection of desks that can turn your workspace into an office and TV consoles that will transform your family room into an entertainment area. Visit our showroom in Hudson and experience the quality of solid wood. Whitaker's, handcrafted, built to last, the way furniture should be made.
Recognizing winners is our business at B&B Awards and Recognition. We're family owned and operated, featuring the highest quality awards and recognition items for businesses, schools, colleges, sports, and community organizations. Our certified recognition specialists use the latest equipment and techniques. Don't forget to check out our personalized gifts. When you need to show someone they're the best, give the best. B&B Awards and Recognition, located in Towanda Plaza.
Cheeks Bar and Grill in the Towanda Plaza is a great place to go. Stop by during the week for daily lunch specials. Cheeks serves up the best burgers in town every day, and on Saturday and Sunday you can get a cheeseburger for just $1.50. There's live music on Saturdays and karaoke on Thursdays. Don't forget about the 13 TVs, including 9 plasmas, and our pool and dart leagues. Our outdoor patio gives you the opportunity to enjoy the weather and relax with your friends with 4 TVs to view all the games outside. Cheeks Bar and Grill in the Towanda Plaza in Bloomington, where you won't be a stranger for long.
The next televised game over most of these same Comcast outlets will be when the Redbirds are home against these same Aces of Evansville. That's 1 week from tonight, Wednesday, January the 13th, 7:05 tip time at Redbird Arena, ISU in Evansville. 1 week from tonight, our next televised game. Illinois State here leads 47-31. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris, our Comcast sports crew in Southern Indiana at Roberts Stadium, which is going to be the former home of the Aces in about 2 years. They've got a brand new stadium that's being built downtown. They're going to have a downtown redevelopment, and there's going to be a facility for them to play hoops in probably starting in 2011. They got a foul against the Redbirds there. Holmes was the one penetrating, and Carmichael got him.
Bailed him out because he was about to take a bad, ugly shot that he dribbled too long to get to, and Jackie bodied up, left his feet. One of the things that drives coaches crazy is when players leave their feet to play defense or leave their feet to make a pass.
Denver Holmes to the foul line. He had twin brothers that played college basketball at Yale. So how do you like that? How competitive was that household, do you think? You got two twin brothers older than you that not only play hoops, are good enough to get into Yale.
Wow.
So they were getting it done academically as well.
That's impressive. That's impressive. I'd like to have been there and witness when there was one cookie left. One cookie on the table. Who gets it?
Well, he's one of the bright young players that the Aces are so excited about in their future. With him and with Colt Ryan, these young players that they're going to build their team around the next couple of years. Here's Austin Hill. Slips
Great
it down
pass.
to Lewis, who finishes. Nicely done.
Awesome pass by Austin Hill right there.
6 points now for Tony Lewis.
Austin Hill seems to be feeling a lot more comfortable in the offense of what coaches are expecting of him and what he can and can't do with the ball.
And it seems like ever since he came back from that injury, maybe the Utah game, it's been that way. There's Ryan knocking down the three.
Well, I know he sustained that injury and he wasn't able to practice all out for a couple of days. He was spending a lot of time watching film.
Ball on the floor. Osiris comes away with it. That was the first three-point make of the night, by the way, for Colt Ryan. Here's a three on the other end, Lloyd Phillips. Bounces once, bounces twice. Cox goes up and gets it for the Aces. The Redbirds with a 15-point lead. It's 49-34. Hope works on Kellen Thornton. Couldn't finish.
Good defense by Kellen. And once he gave up position to Hope, all he can do is body up and go straight up in the air with these arms. And that's what he did. He didn't try to block it. He stayed on the floor, but still had a negative influence on the shot attempt.
Here's Hill down the lane, scooped it up and in. A little finger roll for Austin Hill.
Left-handed, no less.
6 points now for Hill.
Now when he understands that the defense realizes that he's going to kick the ball sometime, then they don't come over and shut him off. It opens up that driving lane, and he gets a lot easier look on the drive.
Good hands that time. A steal from Eldridge. Now to Phillips. Back to Eldridge, and there's going to be a foul. Collision down there. Osiris appears to be no worse for the wear. He gets himself up. The foul will be on the Aces.
Kind of tight quarters down there. When you go down, you don't have much room.
Yeah, the fans are seated right behind the basket there. Here's another look right at our camera. And so Osiris Eldridge, who, by the way, went over the 600 career rebound mark tonight.
There's something that he doesn't get nearly enough credit for.
He had 598 for his career coming into tonight. He's got 4 boards this evening, so he has joined Dima Odiakosa, who just went to the 600 rebound club here last week as well.
600 rebounds.
That's a lot of boards.
For an off guard. We all talk about the offensive thrills that he brings to the game, but sometimes we just never quite grasp the defensive presence that he has become, and obviously the rebounding, the skill that he's brought to that aspect of the game. Complete player, really has developed and matured while he's been here.
Monet Hudson is in. James Harzma is out for Evansville. Eldridge now in double figures with 10 points. Here's Ryan, goes around Phillips. Couldn't get it to go down, though. Ball is off of the Redbirds' Osiris Eldridge.
Couldn't get it to go down because Kellen Thornton came over from the help side and didn't get the block, but he influenced the release. Good job there coming over by Kellen Thornton, helping out.
The Redbird defense still holding Evansville under 30% shooting now, 26% for the game.
I believe it is regrouped here in the last, after that previous timeout.
There's Holmes on a nice little cut down the lane, though. Holmes has been impressive tonight. He has 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting from the floor. Phillips thought about the three, penetrates, and kicks down to Thornton for the jam.
Now see, that's where Lloyd Phillips has matured, because a year ago he would have tried to make that floating shot going away from the basket. This year he finds the cutter coming baseline after he attracts the defense, and we get a dunk out of it.
Here's Colt Ryan trying to answer.
Good defense once again by Osiris. Colt Ryan's getting a lesson tonight on what it means to be a first-team all-conference player.
Turnover against the Birds.
Oh, called the palming of the ball. Don't mind that call at all. I think it cleans the game up and makes it be played to the skill level that it was meant to be played at.
There you get a good look at Marty Simmons. But when you have a conversation about maybe the 20 best players to ever play high school basketball in the state of Illinois, that man has to be in your conversation.
Well, if he's not, if his name doesn't come up in that conversation, then somebody is being fooled and tricked because he was a monster.
You're talking about consecutive state championships out of Lawrenceville, 1982, 1983. Played with Jay Scheidler. He was on Ron Felling's teams, those memorable teams in the early 80s. That was when the two-class system was kicking it, and he was a Class A champion at Lawrenceville. Was recruited by Bob Knight, went to Indiana, played there 2 years, and then came to Evansville here when Jim Cruz, who was on Coach Knight's staff, got the head coaching gig here. He followed Cruz here. Now, this was before Evansville was in the Valley.
Right.
Played here in 86 and 87. And let's say the man knew how to score, didn't he?
Oh, he could score. He could light up the place. He was incredible. And you're seeing his coaching style much, you know, that coaching tree you just talked about. Bob Knight, Jim Cruz, Marty Simmons, they're all very, very similar.
Boy, Denver Holmes again from the outside. We came in really drooling to get a good look at Colt Ryan, the freshman, but we're going to leave here remembering Denver Holmes, it looks like.
No doubt. Young man's put together a really good ball game, and if it hadn't been for his effort tonight, Evansville could probably be embarrassed in a wide margin.
He's knocking on the door to a new career high, too. Here's Thornton now, 8 on the shot clock. Now Hill behind the screen from Thornton with 5 to shoot. Ball is on the floor. Redbirds aren't going to be able to beat the shot clock here.
Timeout. Evansville got the steal, took the timeout while lying on the floor.
So this will be a 30-second timeout. That way they were able to avoid a potential turnover there. That's always a tricky call. You know, you got a loose ball, you got a couple of hands, people are flopping around down there. Who's got control of it? Are they traveling? You know, all that kind of stuff. And in this case, the Aces get the timeout. Well, now it looks like it'll be a full timeout. So let's step aside. 11:29 to go here in regulation. The Redbirds lead Evansville 54-38. This is ISU basketball live on Comcast.
The year end is here, and that means you'll save even more on all remaining 09 cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock at Lynn Chevrolet Buick in Pontiac. Large inventory? Check. Bigger savings than ever? Check. Unmatched service after the sale? Check. Come see why Lynn Chevrolet Buick in Pontiac puts smiles on faces and keeps money in your pocket. Our year-end clearance sale starts now.
See Lynn Chevrolet Buick today, I-55 and Route 116 at exit 197 in Pontiac, where service makes friends.
Disaster. It always takes you by surprise, like when the building next to your business caught fire. Sure, your building was saved from the flames, but it got completely doused in the process. And computers are not waterproof. You have planned for disaster, haven't you? Secure everything with BTS ProVault software. Rest well. Call STL to get business technology solutions. Learn more at stlbts.com.
I'm John Koch, store manager of the Luca Grill.
And I'm Tony Smith, co-manager of the Luca Grill.
We'll be interrupting a program you're watching
Or ball games.
to discuss
Or debate.
frequently asked questions about the Luca Grill
These opinions are our own and may or may not be true.
and should never, ever be taken seriously.
Our current topic is listed to the right of your screen.
So please, try to keep up.
If our researchers are on their game,
The ticker at the bottom of the screen will list current information.
but don't hold us to it.
Lloyd Phillips is third in the Missouri Valley Conference in assists per game. He averages 4 per game. He's got 5 tonight. This one to Kellen Thornton was the most recent that resulted in a dunk. He's had 3 of those to Jackie Carmichael, which has resulted in dunks tonight.
That's a rather high percentage shot.
That's a very high percentage shot, yes. Harzma backed himself in on Thornton, missed the first shot, but followed it up nicely and scored off the rebound.
Well, he just out-muscled Kellen there. He wanted that inside low position. You better believe that was a called set play from the timeout.
Alex Rubin, his 3. Boy, I'll tell you, it's just one of those nights for the Birds, right? To hit a couple of spots on the rim and then off the top of the backboard and in.
There'll be nights you get them and nights you don't. We all have seen that.
Three-point make of the night for Rubin. In fact, his first field goal of the night, so Alex is in the scorebook. Here's Holmes colliding with Rubin. The foul's going to go against Alex Rubin.
You know, again, I'll go back to, I know he didn't get the call right then, and I know it was a foul. But, boy, you love his attitude out there. He's always going to be taking a dive.
And we have a timeout on the floor. The Redbirds lead at 57-40 with 10:39 to go. Back with more from Roberts Stadium in a minute. This is ISU basketball live on Comcast.
Whether you're hosting a party or sitting down to enjoy the game, don't forget the beer nuts. Peanuts, cashews, or almonds are available in different tastes, sure to please everyone. We offer a large selection of unique gift packs and specialty items for every occasion and price range. Shop in person, by phone, by fax, or by mail. You can even shop on our website at beernuts.com. Shop in either of our two locations, the corner of Washington and Robinson Streets in Bloomington, or at the Sale Barn on Route 51 South.
Since 1946, Van Gundy Insurance has been a resource for insurance services in Central Illinois. If your employees are asking about a more attractive health plan, including health savings accounts or a 401k plan, call Agent Mark Brent to discuss your options. It's easier to attract good employees when your benefit package is competitive. Partner with Mark to offer the best. Visit our website at vangundy.com or stop by our office in Normal. Insure with confidence at Van Gundy Agency.
Located in downtown Pontiac, Evanglow is a faith-based senior living community with affordable lifestyle choices designed to meet each resident's unique wants and needs. With over 50 years of excellent care, Evanglow offers experience you can trust. Call 815-844-6131 today or look for yourself at www.evanglowlodge.org.
Evanglow, a family of friends.
Redbird fans, don't forget the Northern Iowa Panthers. The league-leading Northern Iowa Panthers are in town Saturday to play these ISU Redbirds, 3 o'clock at Redbird Arena. Call the ticket office for tickets, 438-8000, Illinois State and Northern Iowa, 3 p.m. at Redbird Arena on Saturday. And here's Denver Holmes now, who has himself a new career high.
I've been impressed here with the Redbirds' ability to regroup after it was obvious they weren't quite at the intensity level they had been earlier. They have regrouped and got it back together, it appears.
Kevon Lacey, the steal now. Back come the Aces in transition. A three is up and missed. Kellen Thornton goes back to get it for the Birds, and Harzma with the reach-in foul.
Silly foul. There was no way he was getting that ball. Kellen had gone up, got two hands on it, and he tried to poke it out. Wasn't going to happen. Particularly when you're 90-some feet away from the opposite goal. You should be getting back on defense, not reaching in.
Little give and go. Thornton to Phillips.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful set right there. Good back cut, good pass to lead to the layup.
The Redbirds, Bob, are shooting it at 50% from the floor now, 22 of 44 on the road this late in the game with under 10 minutes to go. We've got another whistle against the Birds.
Well, and that last offensive sequence is the reason they are. They're getting good shots because they're running the offense and they're getting good looks and they're taking high percentage shots. Passing and moving the ball. That should be approximately the 16th, 17th assist. I don't have the stat right in front of me that the Redbirds have. And when you got that high number of assists, you're moving the ball well. You're going to get good looks.
Here's Austin Hill. He kicks out to Rubin now. He's going to fire up another three. Front of the rim, no good. Thornton, offensive rebound, but they're going to say a held ball, and the possession arrow is in favor of Evansville. Boy, the games would be a lot longer back in the day if you had to have a jump ball after every one of those held balls, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Walk the ball back out to center court, because we've had about 5 tonight. Another missed three
for the
Colt
Birds.
Ryan.
Getting out in transition really well.
Phillips tries the three. That's no good. Monet Hudson comes away with it. Evansville is not a team that shoots a lot of threes. In fact, the Redbirds have 110 more three-point attempts coming into the game.
And that kind of surprises me because they shoot it well, Kurt, when they do shoot it, percentage-wise.
Well, they're last in the Missouri Valley in made threes because they don't shoot them. They only make 4 a game. And as perimeter-oriented, you're right, as their offense is, you'd think there would be a few more three-point shots. Here's one for the Birds, Lloyd Phillips. He made 4 three-pointers on Sunday. That's his 3rd three-pointer here tonight.
Penetration all the way to the lane. Kick to Alex Rubin. Makes the extra pass to a wide-open Lloyd Phillips. Knocks it down. Great job.
And now a 20-point lead for the Redbirds, and Marty Simmons wants timeout. This will be a 30.
Once again, the Redbirds have done a great job of sustaining the effort. The Purple Aces made their run, kind of got the game a little hectic for the Redbirds at the start of the half. Timeout, Birds have regrouped, and since then the Redbirds have been building momentum back up again. And the thing that I'm impressed with the most is it's a total team effort. It's not any one guy that has taken over the game for the Redbirds. Early we had Jackie Carmichael dominating, but that was because there was such good ball movement and he was getting breakaways. But we're seeing a lot of people get touches on the ball and things of that nature that really puts a smile on a coaching staff face.
Jackie Carmichael with 17 points, Lloyd Phillips with 11 points, Osiris Eldridge with 10 points. Those are the 3 Redbirds in double figures. Kellen Thornton is knocking on the door with 8, so his next basket will put him in double figures. You mentioned balance scoring being a key for the Birds tonight, and that's been the case.
Well, we've had 8 different people get into the scoring column tonight also for the Redbirds, and that's, when you got that many people that are a threat to put points on the board, you're tough to defend.
And again, the Redbirds, if you're saying, well, where in the world's Dima Odiakosa? If you've just joined us, Dima has 4 fouls, and he's really spent way more time on the bench tonight than he has on the floor.
Right there was classic Alex Rubin. He doesn't get a charge. He didn't draw a foul, but he created a turnover with his tight-nosed defense, making who was it? Ryan Colt dribble the ball out of bounds.
And then again, that's one of those things where you look at his stat line and you would never see that.
Exactly.
Because there's really not a statistics, for that stat. Now the coaches do. The coaches have hustle stats and deflections and all that. They know about that, but when you pick up the box score in the morning, you're going to say, well, gee, Alex must not have had a good game. He was 1 out of 6 from the field.
But I tell you, the coaching staff knows it, which is most important because that determines who gets on the floor.
Yeah.
But probably just as important is that Alex's teammates understand what he does. There isn't one of them that I've ever spoken to about Alex that doesn't rave about what he does. And the thing they all say is he's got your back covered. He'll be there for you.
Driving to the basket and scoring again is Denver Holmes. Give him 18 points on the night now.
That might be the first transitional basket that the Aces have gotten this evening.
It is. That's exactly it. That's their first fast break points of the night.
I'm better than I thought I would.
You nailed that one right on the head there, Bob. It's going to be a blocking foul against the Aces, and again, that is not going to win any popularity awards here at Roberts Stadium.
But again, attacking the basket is making the defense do things that they don't like to do. They believe they can handle you one-on-one, and when help comes over and it's not there on time, it's going to be a block.
Redbirds have a 62-44 lead. The foul here is on Moni Hudson. We'll take a break. From Roberts Stadium here, Redbirds have the lead. Back with more in just a minute. This is Redbird Basketball live on Comcast.
The Redbirds take on Northern Iowa on Saturday, January 9th at 3. The game is live on ESPN2, and there's a special halftime show featuring Mr. Slinky. Call 438-8000 or visit GoRedbirds.com.
Cheeks Bar and Grill in the Towanda Plaza is a great place to go. Stop by during the week for daily lunch specials. Cheeks serves up the best burgers in town every day, and on Saturday and Sunday you can get a cheeseburger for just $1.50. There's live music on Saturdays and karaoke on Thursdays. Don't forget about the 13 TVs, including 9 plasmas, and our pool and dart leagues. Our outdoor patio gives you the opportunity to enjoy the weather and relax with your friends with 4 TVs to view all the games outside. Cheeks Bar and Grill in the Towanda Plaza in Bloomington, where you won't be a stranger for long.
we can fix anything. Kurt's Auto Body in Bloomington.
(62-44). Illinois State leads Evansville. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris, our Comcast Sports crew. We welcome our viewers tonight in the Chicagoland area watching us on Comcast 100, watching us in Rockford and Springfield. It's been a long night for Marty Simmons' team. The Redbirds have really controlled this one from the opening tip. They had some really good defensive intensity, which translated into a couple of fast break baskets, a couple of lobs from Lloyd Phillips to Jackie Carmichael in the first 5 minutes of the game, and really have never looked back from that point forward.
Well, that set the tempo for the game. I think the whole night, that dictated what was going to happen, and it allowed the Redbirds to come out and play with the aggression that they wished to when they got here, and it just really let the Aces know that we mean business. The other thing, I think, let's credit the staff. They've been able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people have 15 minutes or more for the Redbirds. That's a great job of using your bench.
Harzma draws a foul on Kellen Thornton.
I know Kellen doesn't think he did, but he did. His arms were leaning over. You just got to be straight. You got to go straight up and down. If you're tilted at all, we see the replay. Watch them. They're already bent down. And whether he moves them once they're there is immaterial. If you're bent over with your arms, they have to be straight above your body.
And now Dima Odiakosa with his 4th foul comes back in the game for Kellen Thornton. Dima played 4 minutes in the first half and 90 seconds in the second half.
Closest he's come to breaking a sweat tonight was in warm-ups.
Because we know he's not breaking one outside. It's about 10 below with the wind chill. Nobody's sweating around here these days. 64-46. The Redbird lead. We'll see if Dima can at least get in the scorebook here. 7 minutes to go in this one.
Well, he's got to have fresh legs. You're going to see it right here.
And a shot block from behind from Colt Ryan. The ball is out of bounds off of Dima.
Give the Aces credit right there. They took on the big fella and they won that battle. But I know who I'm betting on. The Aces never quit moving out of that motion. They're just constant.
Cox missed the 3. And that's Dima's 5th foul. No? Okay, it's going to be on Harzma.
Yeah.
It looked like, you know what, he said 3-2 instead of 4-2. When I saw him flash the 2, I thought, by golly, he's just fouled out. That's what Marty Simmons was hoping for, but didn't happen. So Dima's got a chance now to score his first points of the night. Well, Dima is still 3rd in the top 3 in the country in field goal percentage, 67%. So whether or not he scores a whole lot of points tonight may not affect that, depending on how many shots he actually gets from the field here in the final 7 minutes. 6'8", 255. He's the senior from Nigeria. Splits the free throws. Redbirds now with 9 players scoring tonight. Harzma can't get it to go. Ryan, offensive rebound, and the foul is going to be against Illinois State.
I believe Osiris got him on that one. Got him in the air.
So second personal on Osiris. And to the free throw line goes Colt Ryan. This young man went to the same high school as Michael Menzer, the former star point guard of the Indiana State Sycamores, that led the Sycamores to a couple of NCAA tournament appearances earlier in the decade. And he broke all of Menzer's scoring records, and we can see why. He's 6'5". He's very comfortable shooting the 3. He can penetrate. He's the one that actually blocked Dima's shot down there, so he can play it on both ends. And you are looking at the guy that could be the centerpiece of this Purple Aces team in the next couple of seasons.
He's got a body that looks like it's going to be able to hold a little more weight, which will give him some strength if he gets in that weight room. And he's just going to continue to get better if he gets stronger.
His game is a little bit, I think, like Kyle Weems. We saw him at Missouri State on Friday. He doesn't maybe score off the dribble like Weems can do. There's Osiris Eldridge scoring off the dribble on the baseline. But there's some similarities, I think, in the two. Boy, Eldridge just explosive. Osiris has that first step which just leaves people in the dirt.
With who they have on the floor out here tonight, they don't have anyone that can handle O.
And he goes right around Ryan and scores again. So 4 quick ones for Eldridge give him 16 on the night. So he's just a basket away from his average of 18.3.
Good strip on the other end defensively to make a loose ball. Lloyd Phillips got it through ahead.
Now Ryan's 3 over Rubin is good. Second 3-point make of the night now for Colt Ryan.
There's so many shooters in the Valley this year that you can't give them a step or it's down.
Here's Dima Odiakosa. He's fouled from behind. Nice lob that time. Good entry pass from Phillips.
You know, I've never understand this stat, Kurt. On that right there, Phillips makes that pass. Dima goes up, as we see right here. Beautiful pass. Goes up, does everything. If he makes this, it's an assist. He gets fouled and makes 2 free throws. It's not an assist.
Yeah.
Now, in the NBA, it is. In the NBA, they say that pass led to the 2 free throw attempts. And if he makes a free throw, then you get an assist. That's why you see almost double the assists in the NBA stat lines compared to the collegiate one.
Well, and they play 48 minutes as opposed to 42. So if you give Steve Nash or Jason Kidd another 8 minutes, Chris Paul, they're probably going to cash in a little bit.
Exactly. He's got a few shooters in that league, too.
Yeah, that's true. There's Holmes again. Boy, he's just pouring them in now. This is his first career 20-point game. Holmes 8 of 12 from the field tonight, and we are very impressed with this young man from Kansas.
He's played a whale of a game. He shot the ball well, and he's taken good shots. Amazing how that goes hand in hand.
Yeah. The game's leading scorer now with 20.
Good pass.
There's Odiakosa. Couldn't get it to go, though. Did get an excellent pass, though, from Phillips.
Thought might have been a little contact in there.
Now a steal from Dima. Back on defense quickly. Now it's Lloyd Phillips. Back in the front court. He snaps a pass down to Dima, and he finishes. So there's your assist from Phillips.
He rewarded the big fella for not only getting the deflection and the steal, he rewarded him by giving it back to him and letting him get the dunk.
Ryan missed the 3. A 7-assist night, by the way, tonight for Lloyd Phillips.
What hustle by the big fella there. He's more worried did he hurt Osiris when he went up and ripped the ball away from him.
I think he just destroyed that chair.
Here we'll see Ryan Cole take the shot. Dima just rips it out of Osiris's hands. Turns it over in the process, though.
Holmes is going to try another 3 and knock it down. Everything he's touching is going in. A 23-point night for Denver Holmes.
I think the Redbirds better count their blessing. They got this spread on him because right now Holmes is playing with such confidence. It doesn't really matter where he releases it.
His 6th straight double-figure scoring game. So he's introducing himself to the Missouri Valley Conference in a big way. Here's Austin Hill from the corner. That was short. Harzma the rebound. This game is not quite over yet. I know there's a lot of people that probably are thinking that, and some of the fans have filed out, but we've seen some stranger things happen. Ryan shot his block from Rubin, and he's going to get some more free throws.
Now there's the versatility of, you talked a bit ago about how good of an athlete Colt Ryan is. There's the versatility that he shows. He went down on the break and got low block position and posted Alex Rubin up, and they threw over top. He knew what, I mean, that's a complete ball player when he can shoot, stroke the 3, and then go down and post you up like that.
Redbirds have a 16-point lead with 3:32 to go. Back with the conclusion of this game from Roberts Stadium in a minute. This is ISU Basketball live on Comcast.
Julie, look what's new at McDonald's.
You can get a quality iced mocha and a caramel latte.
Or a vanilla cappuccino. All your favorite flavors, including hazelnut, at great prices.
Get breakfast, lunch, or dinner, plus your favorite specialty coffee with only one stop.
Quality, value, and McDonald's speedy service.
Here you go. Thanks.
Can I have mine with a lot of whipped cream?
You don't need a lot, Bob.
Okay, just a little, Jules. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it.
Located in downtown Pontiac, Evanglow is a faith-based senior living community with affordable lifestyle choices designed to meet each resident's unique wants and needs. With over 50 years of excellent care, Evanglow offers experience you can trust. Call 815-844-6131 today or look for yourself at www.evenglowlodge.org.
Evanglow, a family of friends.
At Clay Dooley, we are not just your home for the highest quality, most affordable tires. We pride ourselves in bringing you the finest auto servicing in the area. With our state-of-the-art diagnostic tools and equipment, we can service all makes and models, foreign and domestic.
We come to Clay Dooley because of the great people here, the wonderful service, the dependability, flexibility, and great prices.
At Clay Dooley Tire and Auto, drive with confidence.
One of the things that we've talked about all evening is how the Redbirds have been able to take their defensive effort and turn it into offensive rewards. Here we see a steal. Lloyd Phillips pushes it up. Dima Odiakosa runs the court. Wide open underneath, gets the dunk.
8 assists now for Lloyd Phillips. That's one off his career high, which he set in the NIT game last year at Kansas State. So he has followed up his career scoring high of 21 points on Sunday against Southern with a game in which he could match his career high in assists. Lacey, offensive rebound, can't get it to go. Tipped out of bounds. It's going to go to Evansville.
Evansville ball. Tell you what, this Evansville, I'm going to give them a lot of credit, Kurt. I mean, they were down 20 here a few minutes ago, and
now it's 15 with 3.5 minutes to go, and that's still plenty of time.
They're just, and then they get a layup and miss, but Dima gets the foul for his 5th and final. This is a team that's got no quit in them. Evansville has been struggling, as we've talked about, having people healthy all year, whether it be the flu, pneumonia, injuries. Tonight they even had a death in one of the players' families that has taken one of the young men away. They've just not really been able to get into hitting their stride because of all those interruptions. About the end of mid-February, end of the last half of the season in the conference, people aren't going to want to play this team. These young kids are going to get some confidence. Somebody draws them in the Valley Tournament, they're going to go, whoa, who is this and where'd they come from?
Yeah, they're playing tonight without their junior guard, Troy Taylor, who had a death in the family, so he is with his family. And they're playing tonight without their sophomore forward, Brian Bushy, who has the flu. And trailed by as many as 23 points in the first half. And yes, the Redbirds did have a 20-point lead here in the second half, but they've never really just kind of, cashed in the chips and said, let's go home. They're still playing very hard here in the last couple of minutes, and that's the reason why I know Tim Jankovic is not really ready to count this one in the bag just yet.
Well, in a conversation with Coach Jankovic prior to the game, he says how hard a Marty Simmons coach team always plays, and I think we're seeing that in what he was talking with me about. This team has no quit in them, and no matter what the scoreboard says.
Redbirds spacing the floor now. Here's Phillips. He's got it by Cox. He gets a screen from Carmichael. They can afford to be really patient now offensively. Here's Hill, gets it up to Phillips with 8 on the shot clock. He's going to try a 3 from the top of the circle. Front of the rim, no good. Eldridge goes and gets, and there's going to be a foul against Evansville. That'll go against Holmes, who is guarding Osiris.
Once again, Osiris just far too quick on that loose rebound. Got there, and they just wasn't able to corral him and block him off.
And so Osiris will go to the free throw line, and a couple of made foul shots will put him right at his season scoring average. Tony Lewis is at the scorer's table. He will check in. Well, should the Redbirds hang on and win this one, they would improve to 14-3 overall, 3-1 in the league, right in advance of a visit from the conference champion and conference leading Panthers of Northern Iowa on Saturday. And that should be a whale of a ball game.
Well, I tell you what, the thing that's exciting, I think, is both of the squads, depending on what Northern Iowa did tonight down at Southern Illinois, both of them come into that game on Saturday playing their best basketball. Should be a whale of a ball game.
18 points now for Osiris, who averages 18.3 a game. He leads the Valley in scoring. The Redbird lead is 74-57.
Little full court action right there defensively by the Redbirds. Creates a turnover. Just took the Aces out of their rhythm a little bit. Good job by the coaching staff of changing the pace of the ball game just enough. Shake things up. The Purple Aces were getting a little too comfortable with the Redbirds doing nothing but playing half-court man-to-man, throw a little full-court pressure on them. Disrupted their flow, got a turnover. Alex Rubin, once again, the mystery man, goes to the line for a couple of free throws.
That foul was on Ned Cox in his 5th of the game, so like Dima Odiakosa, Cox has fouled out. Rubin making his 13th straight start tonight. And I'm sure that there were a few eyebrows raised when he first cracked that starting 5, but since that's happened, the Redbirds have stayed with this same, pretty much this same starting 5, actually 7 games ago when Jackie Carmichael joined the unit. And Tim Jankovic appears to be real happy settling in with this rotation here. Here's Monet Hudson with a 3 from the outside. He's just the 2nd junior college player to play for Marty Simmons here at Evansville. Nate Garner was the first, and he turned out to be a real good ball player.
Yes, he was. Excellent player.
It's a 15-point spread here as we approach the 2-minute mark left in this one at Roberts Stadium.
Birds now trying to milk the clock for as long as they can.
Here's Lewis down low. They spaced the floor so nicely there that Lewis was left alone just momentarily. He got the pass from Phillips now with 9 assists. That ties his career high. Here's Holmes. His 3 is long off the back of the iron. Rubin high to go get it.
Well, when you space the floor so well, like you just said that the Birds have been doing here the last couple of possessions, the defense has to all focus their attention on the ball. And when they do, that's when people like Jackie Carmichael here cuts to the basket, makes an easy lay-in, and gives Lloyd Phillips his career-high 10th assist.
How do you like that? Lloyd Phillips with a double-double tonight, 11 points and 10 assists. And Jackie Carmichael, who had 15 points in the opening half, he's been relatively quiet here in the second half, is to the free throw line to try to make it a 3-point play. No, the Redbirds have done it on both ends of the floor, Bob, and you have really driven that point home tonight. When you play good defense, you're going to get offensive opportunities, and the Birds have done that.
Well, you feel good about yourself as a player. You've done the hard part of the game, the defense. And when you do that, then you kind of, the game just comes to you a little bit easier out there.
Osiris Eldridge done for the night. He's taking his shoes off. Lloyd Phillips done for the night. He goes to the Redbird bench. Terry Johnson in, Justin Clark in. The Redbirds are going to improve to 3-1 in the Valley. Lacey lost it. He handed it over to Ryan. He's being guarded by Johnson. Threw it away. 12th turnover against the Aces.
You know, Kurt, just a minute ago, literally just a minute ago, we were talking about how the Aces were making a little bit of a run. It was down to 15, and they had possession. Next thing you know, the Birds change up their defensive look and go to a little 3-quarter court press, and completely has taken Evansville out of their rhythm, and it's back up to 20 now, 80-60.
Well, the Redbirds had their lead, which was at one time 23 points in the first half, whittled down to 11 here in the second half, and that was that little run early in the second half that the Aces went on. But ISU kind of stemmed the tide, and they've not led by fewer than 15 points the rest of the way. Rubin picks up the loose ball, missed the jumper. Carmichael the offensive rebound, and the Redbirds will likely try to milk some clock. No, not when you got an open look with Tony Lewis.
That's what happens at the end of a game when the defense has to scramble. But it was only made happen because Jackie Carmichael's still flying hard to the offensive glass and got a board.
And Tony Lewis quietly in double figures tonight. He has 10 points. So the Redbirds with 4 players in double figures. Here's Monet Hudson. I'm sorry, Monet Lewis. That's going to be a... See if that's going to be a 3-point play. What are they going to say there?
He got fouled in the act, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to say that. So Hudson's going to go to the free throw line. Jackie Carmichael goes back to the Redbird bench. He gets a nice smattering of applause behind the Illinois State bench from some of the Redbird fans that made the 4-hour drive here to Evansville. Hudson makes good on that free throw. So the Redbirds in double figures tonight. Jackie Carmichael with 20. That is a new career high. 18 points for Osiris Eldridge, right at his scoring average. 11 points for Lloyd Phillips, who also chipped in 10 assists. And 10 points tonight for Tony Lewis off that Redbird bench.
The return pass hit the end line, and it goes back over to the Aces.
Finish out these final 29 seconds. Tim Jankovic will come over and join us for a quick post-game comment. Hudson the miss. Mishler tipped it out. Hey, we're seeing Coates for the first time. Matt Coates.
Purely Richwood.
And Illinois Central College transfer. He's going to maybe get an opportunity to run a play here. See if the Redbirds do it. He's just probably going to dribble it out.
Yes, yes. That's the classy thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
So the Redbirds will improve now to 12-3 on the season and 3-1 in the conference, with an impressive 82-63 victory. As we mentioned, they had a 23